I told you that Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, TikTok, and other social media apps are creating inevitable subconscious consequences, would you believe me? You may see these apps as convenient and a fun way to form relationships with others, but have you ever thought that you may be causing more harm to yourself than you think? If I sat you in a room and took away your phone for the day, how would you feel? Technology, more specifically social media, has created false realities that have become detrimental to new generations of teens along with their mental health. We need to implicate regulations within these social media companies in order to save future generations from falling into an inevitable rabbit hole of false realities that they can't escape. We need regulation amongst these large social media companies. They are money motivated and are using inhumane ways to push teens to constantly be on their phones in order to be able to push ad revenue and compete with other social media apps for screen time. They put profit over users and use manipulation in order to push their ads out to others. A worker from Google says that it's gradual, slight, and perceptible change in your own behavior and perception. It's the only thing for them to make money from, changing what you do, how you think, and who you are. This is coming from a Google worker who actually left Google because of the unethical technology that he was seeing being pushed out. It isn't Citizens Congress who decide information network regulation itself. We don't get to decide how our information companies collect data. We don't get to decide how transparent they should be. The tech companies all do that themselves. These companies only care about themselves. They have no regard for the consequences that they have caused. According to the National Center for Health, adolescents have found that body image for both boys and girls is negatively affected by social media use. Higher social media use leads to body surveillance, which refers to monitoring one's own body and becoming judgmental of it. This is because they're constantly looking at profiles of attractive people that lead them to develop a negative self-body image because they can't look like these people, and they think that these are the ultimate goal for what they should look like. The other problem is that it discreetly takes people of their free will. Parents and children have the right to know what they are being monitored on and how it's being used. Social media companies should not legally be allowed to use their data to manipulate kids using their phone into viewing more things just for the sole purpose to keep them on longer, just so they can push out more ad revenue. Big social media companies manipulate users by using algorithms that encourage addiction to their platforms. According to the Washington Post, the average adult worldwide spends 2 hours a day on social media, and the average American teenager spends up to 9 hours. Research estimates that social media addiction now affects almost 500,000 people globally. An example for why regulation is needed and these companies are robbing children of their time is that social media is designed based on an attention attraction model, which controls human behavior and keeps them scrolling and wanting more. This takes advantage of the built-in human desire for connection and reassurance. The like button can be seen as a constant reassurance that your audience likes what they're seeing. Children will constantly rely on social media for a quick reassurance rather than an actual social interaction. This is a huge danger to our mental well-being, and it is only going to increase due to the lack of regulation in place for these companies, says Tristan Harris from the Centra for Humane Technology. The reason why social media is not regulated and the reason why they refuse to regulate it is because people see you, the consumer, as being in charge. Many people claim that you are in control in how you use social media and how long you spend on it, and what you consume and in what you engage with. But again, social media is so user catered that it causes users to subconsciously remain on the app because of the algorithm that they are pushing. It puts people in algorithms, causing an echo chamber effect where people are constantly comparing themselves to what they see on their phones and inevitably thinking that everyone else in the world looks like this, leading to false beauty standards. This most directly impacts people with pre-existing vulnerabilities and people with body image issues. Therefore, action needs to be taken at a legislative level in order to protect vulnerable kids into falling into a rabbit hole of false social media realities. The plan is to enforce these companies to have an increased regulation and enforce laws around how they use their technology so that they operate more ethically, promoting positive behaviors and mental well-being over negative ones. Hopefully, we can reduce in-platform advertising. These companies can self-regulate their content and review their most manipulative technologies that have led to isolation and depression and other issues, and instead find ways to promote community progressive action and other positive attributes. By reducing the advertising, the company does not have to push unwanted content. With allowing regulation, these companies can stop preying on human psychology and manipulation and rather invest in making their creations a positive place to create connections and networking. Children will also be able to use social media without these companies unethically locking them in and trying to keep them online for as long as possible. So please spread the word. We created this technology, therefore we should be able to alter it. If we want to see change around us and change for future generations, then we need to do something now. Limit the amount of time you spend on social media, report any unwanted ads, and take courses on humane technology. Thank you.